What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my witchy world, witches. So I know a request from a couple of people was for me to, I guess, film a ritual or a spell, like do an actual working with some of the contents of the boxes that I get, and I'm gonna be doing that tonight. So tonight is it's a full moon outside, and I have been wanting to do my self-love ritual that I believe is from the February Sacred Space crate box. The theme was Aphrodite, and we got a statue of Aphrodite in there, so I want to show you what I have set up, and I guess film myself doing the ritual. So I'm gonna try and do it in my low lighting. We'll see. We'll see how this works out. If I need to put some lights on, I will, but I don't like to do my workings with lights on. Like, you see how bright it is in here? My glasses, my goodness, they're reflecting my lights. So it's a little distracting when you have lights on to do a working. I like to just have the ambiance of the candles that I like and stuff like that. So I do want to start off by saying that I'm a beginner. You know, I've been, the best way to learn is by doing, so that is basically what I'm doing. So no judgments, I ask that. But also for anyone else who is also a beginner, yeah, there is no right or wrong way to do this. So do whatever feels right for you. Like, there's no right altar space or table to use for it, or right way to set up your altar, or anything like that. I basically just took some stuff, threw it together until it looked pretty, and then called it a day. My setup that I have on there now has been set up like this for about a week because I wanted to basically let it mellow, hang out there. It looks really pretty. Yeah, so I don't know, it's been hanging out there for a little while. It might be messed up at this point, but I like it, and that's the end of it. So keep your opinions positive, please. Keep your remarks positive. This is how I choose to do things. It works for me. Do what works for you, okay? And any helpful advice is okay and accepted, and I love it. Anything negative, throw it out. Don't even bring it to me. I don't care. Okay? Alrighty. So let me show you what my setup looks like. So I do not have a set altar space. It moves. I change my mind a lot. So this one specifically, I wanted out where I could see it every day. So it's in my living room. Typically I set up my altar space, my working space on my kitchen table. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment with a 4-year-old and 2 dogs. Things don't stay where I put them. So for me to have an altar space that is set up, it don't work like that. So it moves. So I wanted the one that I have now that you're about to see to kind of stay up for a little bit. Anything that's a working that's only going to be like set up for a night or something like that, I will do at my kitchen table because it's easy cleanup. I put a cloth down and call it a day. So it moves. It's never in the same spot twice. So yeah, so let me let me stop babbling and let me just show you what it looks like. Alright, you guys, so this is where I am set up at the moment. This area here is basically the focal point. I have a white candle burning just so I have easy access to flame to light the incense and the sage, because my sage is in here. Just for cleansing the area. Like I said, there's a lot of big hunk of rose quartz. There's little ones, some seashells, red, pink candles, and our beautiful, lovely statue and picture of Aphrodite. So yeah, there's amethyst and a bunch of other stones that basically promote calm and peace, because I need that. And we're also gonna go in, we're gonna do, I think it came in, oh, sorry, I keep getting so close. But I think it came also in the sacred space crate. We're gonna use our little teaspoon and our love spell tea. So we're gonna use, it's gonna be like a two-part deal. We're gonna do the tea spell now, and then when my son goes to bed, we'll probably wind up doing the main self-love ritual. So I have a very curious pup behind me and my son's school bag. Like I said, it's close quarters in here. There's a lot of chaos and madness pretty much all of the time. So this is where I'm set up temporarily, and it won't stay here. It'll wind up somewhere else next time. So we're gonna do the tea portion first, and then we'll get into the ritual. All right, lovies, so we have a very hot, yes, you can see the steam, very hot cup of water. It is in my little cup that says blessed be on it. I think I got this in a box of shadows box. We have our love spell tea there, and then we also have our blessed be little steeper here, and our little teaspoon. Now, I am going with this specific tea spell, I'm going to be using the spell for self-love from, this is Sacred Space Crate. So it says on here, for self-love spell, place your spoon inside of cup, starting on the air side of your cup. Stir exactly 7 times completely around, ending on the east side of the cup. There's also a section that's in bold and underlined on here that says, these are not fail-proof spells. Your stirs must be exact to ensure that they do not backfire. Love spells are always tricky. So hopefully we do this correctly. This specific tea has Damiana leaf, red raspberry leaf, red clover blossom, rose hips, cinnamon chips, and orange peel. So basically it's really hard to get into the full mental capacity to do this while filming, so we're gonna do our best, because I also have to keep an eye on the camera and make sure that we are not overheating in the middle of this spell. So I'm just gonna use our spoon here and oops. These, I don't know how well these little tea balls work as far as keeping the herbs inside. But we're gonna find out. So we're gonna put this in. We're gonna hang it over the edge there. I am going to basically let it steep for a couple minutes, because I don't want to disturb anything. I don't want to stir anything. And then we will, once it's steeped in a couple of minutes, we will do the actual spell itself. In the meantime, I am going to try and get into the appropriate state of mind. Maybe do a little bit of meditation and visualization in this moment. So. All right, you guys, so we're gonna remove this. Just trying to get as much water as we can. I am speaking in a little bit of a softer voice because I'm feeling very calm, cool, collected. So at this point, we are going to take our spoon, put it on the east side of the cup. So this is the east side for me. I don't know if it's backwards for you guys. And we are going to stir exactly 7 times. Now, while stirring, I was using my own energy to kind of basically use this as a wand and infuse the tea with my own energy and desires and intentions. And that's basically it for the tea portion of this. I'm going to test this and make sure it's not too hot to drink, but we're gonna drink it. All right, you guys, so we are going to be doing the self-love spell from the Sacred Space Crate. If you haven't noticed, there is a theme. It requires a fire-safe bowl. Our candle, so I do have the red candle here as well, but we're only gonna be using the pink candle, which I'm actually just gonna bring up so we don't get things confused. And like I said, I have this here as just like a quick light access to fire, basically. I am going to I'm going to tweak things a little bit here and there, but for the most part, it's going to be the same thing. I'm just going to add my own flair to it. It asks to have 2 sheets of paper, and you will see why in a second, and a pen. This, I actually chose to use a pink pen to kind of go with the theme, but yeah, let's do this. So I'm gonna take a few minutes to kind of get comfortable and settled in, and then we'll get into this, okay? Now, before I get started, yes, my altar is very much higher than I am right now. I do not have like a small stool or anything like that, and I don't really want to have that right now. I kind of like it up in front of me. Also, sorry if you can't see me all that well, but the Sacred Space Crate self-love spell calls for a circle of salt to create your circle, basically. I don't do that just because I would wind up having to vacuum it up on the carpet, and I don't like that idea because I feel like it wouldn't, so something that is used to basically encase my magic and my power, I don't want to vacuum it up and put it in a vacuum. I'd rather be able to sweep it up and put it outside, but since I can't do that, I am basically just going to visualize my circle, my circle of energy around me and my altar, okay? So let's get started. We're going to light our candle. I'm also going to light the incense, our strawberry incense. I'm also going to use some of my rose pure organic oil. So basically I just took a little bit of that rose oil, dropped it over my altar, around the candles, and then put a little bit on my heart, on my wrists, basically on my pulse points, to make sure that the scent is kind of there and it's helping to encourage my mind to focus on self-love. All right, So the next portion, this spell calls to do this completely undressed, no hair ties, anything like that. So I obviously can't do that for you guys on camera, but we are going to basically do the best that we can. We're going to take the first piece of paper here and our pen, and we are going to write down everything that we dislike about ourselves. All right, so once you have completed your list, I'm just gonna fold mine. All right, so I just basically folded mine up. Now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna use the flame of the candle and burn it. And that is why we have the little cauldron here. So we're gonna let it extinguish in there, and that way we are not creating a fire. Basically, as we are burning it, we are going to visualize all of those negative things that we see about ourselves kind of dissipating and going away. Kind of just taking those things, those negative things that we dislike about ourselves, and we are removing them. We're washing them from us. They are no longer part of us. In this moment, if I'm being honest, I have some chills, some goosebumps right now, so I can basically, my body's reacting to the energy that is surrounding me. So I'm going to go with that, and the next part of our spell is we are going to take our next piece of paper and we're going to write down all the things that we love about ourselves, because each and every single one of us has so much to love about ourselves that it's time that we make it known to ourselves. Other people can see it. It's time for us to be able to see it too. So we're going to write that down, and this time we are going to start on the top, write all the way down, and if we have more that we need to write, we're going to start at the top, write it all the way down, and this time we are actually going to flip the page over and write on the back side so that there's no words overlapping each other. All right, you guys, so we're going to take this piece of paper and we are going to very carefully place it underneath of our candle here. All right, so the next step is basically reciting the spell. Sorry, reciting the spell. We are going to Sorry, I'm still getting the chills and everything, so I know that everything, there's a very big power buildup right now. So I can feel all of that around me. My body's reacting to it. We're gonna repeat this spell 7 times, and I'm gonna start off by saying it out loud, but sometimes I tend to just drift in internally and do it mentally. So I'm gonna try and say it out loud so that you can hear it all 7 times, but it may drift off if I get into a certain headspace. So the spell is, I'm gonna read it from the page first just to remind myself. I love my body exactly as it is. I love my mind exactly as it is. I love my spirit exactly as it is. I love myself exactly as I am. Blessed be the goddess within me. Okay, so we're going to repeat that 7 times. I love my body exactly as it is. I love my mind exactly as it is. I love my spirit exactly as it is. I love myself exactly as I am. Blessed be the goddess within me. I love my body exactly the way it is. I love my mind exactly the way that it is. I love my spirit exactly the way that it is. I love myself exactly the way that I am. Blessed be the goddess within me. All right, you guys. So now we are going to remove the paper from underneath of the candle, and we're going to write 7 more things that we love about ourselves. And if we struggle to find 7 more things, we're gonna put the paper back underneath of the candle and recite the spell 7 more times once again. I love my body exactly as it is. I love my mind exactly as it is. I love my spirit exactly as it is. All right, so we have now said the spell twice. I was able to come up with the 7 things the first time around. At this time, after saying the spell for the second time, you're going to go ahead and try and write 7 more things. And then once you are done doing that, you are going to, your choosing, either leave the paper on your altar for a few days and then burn it, or you are going to burn the page now and kind of release that love into the universe. So I'm gonna go ahead and write my 7 more things, and then I'm just going to go ahead and burn it now so and get it out into the universe. All right, my lovies, so I have been basically meditating and building my intentions energetically and kind of sending them out there while allowing the candle to burn down a little bit. It's starting to hit the rose petals here, so the rose petals are sparking. And I kind of have to keep my eyes open so that there isn't a fire. But I figured now would be a good time as any to continue on. So we are going to remove our little slip of paper, and I am going to again fold mine up. There is a little bit of oil on this. The rose oil got onto it, so hopefully it burns. We are going to burn the paper and release those intentions into the universe and let the universe do its job. Again, very energetically charged in here. So that is basically it for the spell. At this point, we have to just sit in the circle while the candle itself continues to burn. We have to let it burn all the way down. And I'm basically just going to kind of self-reflect. I'm going to try and meditate a little bit. I might kind of use the flame of the candle to my advantage, since I can't really take my eyes off of it. I don't want it to like explode. It already has once. You can see how big this flame is getting. It's not because the wick is too long. It's because it's burning the rose that is on the candle. So at this point, I'm going to end the video here and continue the rest of the spell off camera, and kind of go from there. But yeah, I mean, that's how I did my self-love spell. And like I said, it wasn't to an exact T of the spell that was in the Sacred Space Crate. I kind of took that spell and kind of made it my own a little bit. I did, majority of the spell kind of stayed the same, but I did tweak some things. So like I said earlier, there is no right or wrong. Do what feels right to you. And in the spirit of self-love, spread the love, feel the love, share the love, 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 love. And I will catch you all in my next video. Bye.